Hey, hi, I'm Close Sky, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Blue. In the last episode, we arrived here in Viridian Forest and we caught two friends, Sparkler the Pikachu and Cabbage the Caterpie. I also learned off screen that Butterfrees are actually not based on Cabbage White butterflies. They're actually appear to be more based on Black Line White butterflies. But both species look remarkably like Butterfrees in my opinion, so I'm not going to be changing that name. In this episode, we're going to be going through Viridian Forest and seeing if we can get to the other side while also getting in a bit of training for our upcoming trials. I ran out of Pokeballs to catch Pokemon with. You should carry extras. We do have extras, though we really aren't trying to find anything right now. Except this guy. This guy is our first trainer. Hey, you have Pokemon. Come on, let's battle them. Let's battle them indeed as we enter our first Pokemon trainer battle apart from Gary. Blue. His name is Blue. Bugcatcher. He has Caterpie. Sorry, my bad. Weedle. They all have pretty similar parties. Poison, Sting, String Shot, nothing all that special. Sparkler's seeing some action, but you may have noticed this Weedle is actually kicking our butt just a... Oh, it's paralyzed. Some moves, such as Thundershock, have secondary effects which can afflict other Pokemon in battle. Thundershock, for instance, can inflict the paralysis stat. Paralysis, like I covered in an earlier video, will slow down your opponent to its, well, what seems like its absolute minimum. And, well, da-da-da-da-da-da. We're going to see how Cabbage does instead. Hopefully Cabbage can go up a level and evolve or something. We actually I haven't shown evolution yet, and that actually is something I want to show if I can, well, when it occurs. Ooh, level 7. We're gonna switch things off to Fletch here. Not because a Caterpie on Caterpie battle is boring, but because, well, everybody in the team needs to get a little experience, even though Fletch is actually going to be leaving us soon, actually. I only brought him along to help out with catching Pikachu and Sparkler and Cabbage. And he actually didn't help all that much, now that I think about it. Caterpie can't cut it. Ah, here we go. Evolution. Cabbage evolved in a Metapod. Evolution will alter some stats, lowering some and raising others. In the case of Metapod and Caterpie, actually. Metapod's really, really slow, but they're kind of tankish. Not a whole lot, but enough to make a difference. Usually during evolution, all stats go up instead of some going up and some going down. It just seems that Metapod and Kakuna get the short end of the stick there. We're heading back here to Viridian City to heal up, because it actually comes to my attention that, well, the Viridian Forest might be just a little too tough for our poor Sparkler. So we're going to do some training back in Route 1. Not a whole lot, just a little. I almost forgot. We're gonna put Fletch into the PC because his job on our team has been done, and we're gonna put him on back. And off we go to Route 1. We're not gonna be there long, just long enough for Sparkler to catch up. You might be wondering, why am I keeping along Caterpie and not Spearow? I have my reasons. I have plenty good reasons. We're actually going to be speeding through some of these battles just because we can, and so I don't take up a bazillion years of time just for Sparkler to go up a level or two. Here we go. This is actually what I want to be training Sparkler against. I want to be training Sparkler against things that are fast because, well, in theory, it should also make him fast. You might have noticed I've been referring to Pokemon as he or she, or even though you don't actually see gender signs near Pokemon. And this is because until Generation 2, gender did not exist. That being said, Attract did not exist, Captivate did not exist, anything that's related to the gender of a Pokemon does not exist, and that includes breeding. Breeding doesn't exist, so when you catch a Pokemon, you're pretty much stuck with what it's got. You can't, and you can't breed certain moves onto some Pokemon, and actually this means that certain moves, such as Twin Needle and and Waterfall, are exclusive to the Pokemon that know them. Twin Needle is Beedrill's special Beedrill only move, as in only Beedrill knows it. And Seaking and Goldeen can both learn Waterfall. Yes, Waterfall existed back in the day. Nobody spends the time to raise a Goldeen or a Seaking long enough to actually, for them to learn it. Not when there's other water types to be had. Just one more level. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we're just going to go on back to the forest. I might seem a little capricious at times, and that's pretty accurate, actually. I do kind of flip-flop between my decisions. Might show in my playstyle a little bit with my constant switching up of my teammates and team members, and I apologize for that. I'm going to try to keep certain Pokemon on team and others not. Oh, you can't jam out if you're a Pokemon trainer. I believe this guy is actually just saying that you can't run away in a trainer fight, which is true. You cannot run away from trainer battles. For a bug type, Weedle's pretty fast for right now, but as Sparkler gets older, you'll notice pretty quickly that he does outspeed a lot of things. You might be wondering, why isn't Harden Thundershock being affected by Harden? That's because Harden will protect against defense, not special. See? Speed, 20. And we're going to bring Rafflesia out just so that he can jam in on the action too. I might refer to some Pokemon as male or female based upon their looks, but in this case, Bulbasaurs in later generations actually have a really high chance of being male rather than female. All Pokemon have gender ratios in later generations. Some are 50-50, some are 75-25. Others, like in the case of Bulbasaur, are 12% female. The other 80-something Oh, hey, Leech Seed. Leech Seed is a pretty cool move that we're going to be keeping on Rafflesia. Oh, ran out of Pokemon. Leech Seed. It's a favored move of mine. Others might not like it, but I do. Leech Seed, when you use it, you will plant a small seed on your opponent, and every turn that that your opponent has the seed on him or her, it will drain their HP and give some back to you. Antidote cures poison. And though it actually wasn't meant to do this, if you combine Leech Seed and Toxic, the effects of Toxic, which are poisoning with increasing damage every turn, will also apply to Leech Seed, so it will effectively absorb more and more health every turn and give it all back to you, which makes it a little bit, well, a little bit mean to your opponents, which is why I like to do it. Because nobody can stop me from doing it, I guess. A potion. I'm going to just keep that on hand. One thing to note, Cabbage, even though he's a Metapod, didn't learn Harden when he evolved. And, well, he won't be learning Harden anytime soon. Don't know why, but wild Metapods get Harden. Caterpie-raised Metapods get Tackle and String Shot. You might notice that it really doesn't matter. Cabbage is tough enough that it really doesn't hurt him that badly. And, hey, wait up. What's the hurry? Well, the hurry is getting to the next location, which is actually where we're gonna be, going. Oh, okay. Super effective versus not very effective. This is actually one of the few times that it shows up. Well, not the few times. It's actually going to be popping up a whole lot. But this is a point where it's actually, where I can actually tell you what that means. Okay. Super effective means that you are doing double the damage upon a Pokemon of another type. For instance, grass-type moves, like Rafflesia's Leech Seed, are super effective on a Squirtle, which is a water type. That being said, Rafflesia is also very weak to fire-type attacks, so there's that. No one type of no one Pokemon has hasn't got a weakness or a strength, if that makes sense. There isn't a Pokemon out there that is, oh my god, so super powerful, never need another Pokemon. That's never been a thing. And not very effective means you're only doing half the damage you normally would. Why is this saying this for Rafflesia, who is a poison grass type? Due to the way typing is treated back in the day, there was a slight error regarding super effective and not very effective messages on dual-typed Pokemon. Rafflesia is actually taking standard damage, not very effective damage. This is because poison resists itself, but grass is weak to it. The game doesn't quite know how to handle this, so it feels that it has to tell you something, even though it really doesn't have to. This is fixed in later generations. It's just kind of broken here. First times, you're always going to mess up a little bit, I guess. Which is, I guess, another reason why I chose this one, because it has a few glitches in it. For instance, Toxic and Leech Seed. It's not supposed to do that. You won't be able to do that in later generations. Don't try it. Everybody's gotten a little bit roughed up, and thankfully the end is near. No, not the end of the world, the end of the forest. We're finally out of Viridian Forest. And now here we are on... I don't actually know. Let's actually look. Why am I going to the Pokedex if I want to look at something? Well, that's because you can find Pidgeys here. See? Pidgey's nest. All these little flashing skull head symbols, butterflies, I don't really know, are where you can find Pidgey, so that's actually how you use that. But it doesn't actually tell you the name of this location. Well, that location. We're actually now in Pewter City. Pewter City, where we're going to be finding a whole lot of new adventures and opportunities. There's the museum, the item shop, the Pokemon Center, and most importantly of all, the Pokemon Gym. Oh, hello. Oh, wow. That's a sleepy tune. When Jigglypuff sings, Pokemon get drowsy. Me too. This is sort of leading into the Sing attack, which Jigglypuff is actually pretty well known for. Sing, when you use it, your opponent falls asleep. The only problem? It's really inaccurate. You might have noticed something. You can't actually look at any of the specific details of the technique, just its name and its PowerPoints. So, it's mostly experience with these moves that I'm drawing all this knowledge on. So if you were wondering, how do I know that? How does she know that? Now you know. Coming up here into the Pokemart, a shady old man got me to buy this really weird fish Pokemon. It's totally weak and cost $500. Good things can happen if you raise Pokemon diligently, even the weak ones. This guy should talk to this guy about his weird fish Pokemon and raising it diligently. Hi there, may I help you? Take your time. Unlike in Viridian City, this Pokemart actually sells potions. They also sell escape ropes, awakenings, and that's the only three differences. Antidote, awakenings will wake up a Pokemon that's been, well, it wakes up a Pokemon that's underneath the sleep status. Escape ropes, use these in caves, buildings. Don't try to use these in buildings very often, but they work in buildings too. And you'll instantly be warped right to the entrance, or the last Pokemon Center, depending on which generation you're using it in. I believe escape ropes normally will take you to the entrance of wherever you're going, and something else takes you to Pokemon Center, so I'll remember. Anyway, it's $50 for a child's ticket. Would you like to come in? Right, $50, thank you. This is the Pokemon Museum. Aerodactyl fossil, primitive and rare Pokemon. That is one magnificent fossil. Certain things can be seen here in the Pokemon Museum, such as fossils and... Sorry. Such as fossils and more fossils. Kabutops fossil, a primitive and rare Pokemon. We have a space exhibit right now. Oh, here we go. Space exhibit. Meteorite that fell on Mount Moon. Moonstone? I wonder what a moonstone is. July 20th, 1969. The first lunar landing. I bought a color TV to watch it. Moonstone? What's so special about it? Well, little boy, what's so special about it? You can evolve certain Pokemon with a moonstone. Nidorino, Clefairy, Jigglypuff, and Oh, I'm missing one. I know I am. I don't remember the last one right now. Those can all evolve with a Moonstone. So, if you want to raise a Clefable, a Wigglytuff, a Nidoqueen, or a Nidoking, you need a Moonstone. I want a Pikachu. It's so cute. I asked my daddy to catch me one. Yeah, Pikachu soon. I promise. You're not getting my Pikachu. 3% appearance rate. 3%. Well, it doesn't seem like this place is very special. At least right now. So, doesn't seem to be anything over there. Oh, hello. It's rumored that Clefairies came from the moon. They appeared after Moonstone fell on Mount Moon. I would complain about the grammar in that sentence, but I'm not even going to bother. Did you check out the museum? Yes. Weren't those fossils from Mount Moon amazing? Yes, I suppose they were. Nidoran, sit! Huh. Nidoran. Most likely a male from its cry. Our Pokemon's an outsider, so it's hard to handle. An outsider is a Pokemon that you get in a trade. It grows fast, but it may ignore an unskilled trainer in battle. If only we had some badges. Yeah, we need some badges too. Well, I know where to get one. But I think it's past here. You're a trainer, right? Brock's looking for new challengers. Follow me. Huh, seems this guy knows where we can find a badge. Or at least a fellow named Brock. I actually cannot escape this guy. I'm trying everything right now, and he won't let me go. If you have the right stuff, go take on Brock. And then he walks off in that direction, which would be fine, except... Where did he go? We can't hop this fence. I'm going to call it a fence, even though it looks like two pieces of wood next to each other. Anyway, next time on Let's Play Pokemon Blue, we face Pewter City Pokemon Gym Leader, Brock, the rock-solid Pokemon trainer. We'll see you then!